Yes, here we are again on a beautiful Newopday AM. Own Your Life Newopday here with the Network Marketing Insider number 222. Excuse me. I've been had a cold last about 10 days ago, got real sick, and still getting it out of me. A little clue for you guys, anytime you see this thing right here, I'm not a big hat wearer, okay? um, when I'm ill and I'm sick, I really do focus on, my body's needs. And one of them is a lot of sleep. Whenever you see this hat, generally means a lot of sleep has taken place. And yes, not very much time to get prepared for this show here, but it's okay because you know what? This is the Own Your Life Plan New Update where we discuss the Own Your Life Plan book, the 45-second presentation, and I get to cheat and go right out of the book. So I don't have to have a lot of preparation. Preparation's already there, and I'm already familiar with the book because I've read through it a few times. I don't know it by heart or anything like that. I still like to read it prior to these shows so that I have a better, fresher knowledge base from which to present with. But and also too, I really like it because every time I read through this book, it hits you in a different way because every time you read through a book, you learn something and you grow and you become a bigger, better person. The next time you read through that book, you're looking at the information from a different perspective. So it'll hit you in a different way. That's a really cool thing about, having a base of books that you read over and over and over again as a study guide, so that, they're not just books that you read once and put them away and, oh yeah, I read that book once and I know all about it. It's not how it works. There's some books out there when it comes especially to your personal development and becoming a bigger and better person that you really should have close by at hand and be reading and rereading them continuously over and over and over again, year after year, as a study guide and a growth manual. So with that, welcome everybody. Welcome Swissco Global independent business owners. Welcome all network marketers. Welcome all of those especially who are thinking potentially I might like to be in network marketing. Maybe that's something I want to give it a try. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, don't give it a try. If you're thinking about giving it a try, don't even bother. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. And you're going to hear why in a little bit as part of what our talk is this morning. But you are in the right place for quality information because did you know that after you take out all the time that you spent sleeping, like I did a lot this morning, that all the time you spent sleeping and commuting to work and actually working, and then all the time that you spend running around after work, doing all the things that you have to do in this life just to live, that at the end of the day, you've got probably 1, maybe 2 hours to yourself to do the things that you like to do. A sad thing that I find is that as people get older, they don't even know what they like to do anymore because they spend all their time running around just trying to live this life. Well, guess what? We have found a way for you to own your life by starting a home-based business. That's it. Just starting a home-based business that's so simple that anybody can do it. It doesn't involve any selling, and the best part is it does not take very much of your time because, as we just pointed out, you don't have much time, okay? And the thing is, if you don't do something like this, if you don't look into doing something with that little bit of time that you have to advance yourself in this world, next year, your life is going to look just the same. And the year after that, it's going to look just the same. And the year after that, it's going to look just the same. And on and on and on and on and on. And even worse, it's not even going to look just the same. it's going to look a little bit worse. Year after year after year after year, it's going to look a little bit worse because you know what? The raises that you get at work can't keep up with inflation. That's the bottom line. And things that you think you know are a bunch of BS. And where you're putting your money for savings, it's going to get all sucked away. So that's how the system works. That's how we've been trained. That's the system we've been trained to jump into. So anyway, that's a whole nother subject. Today we are here to discuss the 45-second presentation, the Own Your Life Plan, and we are into chapter number 5, which is digging down to bedrock. We started this chapter last Newopday in last session, and we talked about the little runners, this little drawing right here, in the fact that many people join into an organization such as this, and they'll see all these people that are way out in front of them. I don't know, maybe some of you guys have been to a network marketing super Saturday kind of meeting where they have all these bigwigs in there and they bring up all these people on stage that have been in the business for a long time and they're making all this money and they're pulling down, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month or whatever the case might be, and they're telling their stories and this and that. And you're Mr. Little Guy over here and you're seeing these people way out in front of you and you're like, I don't know if I can ever get there, One of the nice things about network marketing being done the right way, especially in some of those Super Saturday meetings for direct sales organizations, where where the onus of their system lies upon you being out there constantly making sales in order to advance and grow your business and be able to achieve that level of financial freedom that these people up on stage are talking about. You're this guy back here, and you're looking at these people all the way out here, and you're going, wow, that's a lot. I don't know if I could ever do that. I mean, there's a lot to learn here. I got to go out and sell this product all the time. I just don't know if that can happen. And we talk a lot, my partner John and I, my upline John here, and my partner in real estate. We have our own little meetup group that we do every other Saturday, and we talk a lot about how we talk a lot about financial freedom. And when people think financial freedom, they think and they think like these people all the way out here. Okay, I'll tell you what. There's a lot of people in this group right here that already have financial freedom, but our minds go to this picture right here, and when we see something that's so big and so grand that it's unbelievable to us, we feel that maybe it's unattainable to us. It will absolutely become unattainable to you. If you cannot believe that you can do and achieve what it is that you want out of this, you're never going to be able to do it. Your belief in doing so is everything. It's ultimate. So when you're doing network marketing the right way, which is awesome, is the fact that you can look and you can see these guys way out front and you can go, wow, that's possible. Okay, great. But you're really focusing on these guys right here that are right in front of you. And you're looking at these guys going, okay, hey, they got a little something. I got nothing. They got a little something. From what they're showing me, they haven't done a whole lot to get that little something. I can do that. I can do this. So you can see that little short-term sort of, hey, a little bit of work and I can get to, this. It might not be a big level, but I can take a step up that much. And, a step up that much might mean an extra $100, $200 a month for you. For a lot of people, that's huge. Okay. And then you can look at that as going further and further down the road. Now, in the last chapter, chapter 4, it talks a little bit about, or maybe it's this chapter, but talks a little bit about, when you first get into network marketing, not to consider your first month as, I'm going to give it a try for a month and see how this goes. You really need to consider the fact that, hey, listen, I got like a 6-month training period here. So for the next 6 months, I'm going to get into this and I'm going to give it 6 real months of learning and building my business, learning and building and growing my business. We talk about that being your training period. Most people who start into any kind of a network marketing organization have that, 1 month attitude. Oh, I'll give it a try for a month and see how it goes. And well, first of all, they're going to give it a try, which we know what that means. They ain't going to do quat. And so they're not going to be successful, and they're going to drop out. Because number one, a try is a failure. And number two, 30 days is just not long enough. Okay. By the end of your first 30 days, if you're in a good organization and you've been sponsored by a really solid team player in the organization, your first month, in all actuality, by the end of your first month, you should be having some earnings. You should have some money coming in. You should be able to feel some of the power of what this is all about and what you can maybe build this up to become. Because at the end of 1 month, you should be able to have, generally, they have it set up where, you can kind of, sometimes you could get, your buy-in money back at the end of the first month, or at least, close to it, or at least half of it or something like that, plus have a small check that comes at the end of the month. So if you have a very strong sponsor who is building a network marketing organization the right way, when you come in your very first month, you can get that real strong feeling of success that can, throw another log on the fire, so to speak, as we talk about, and build your burning desire to make this successful. Because we talk about the fact that the only losers in network marketing are the quitters. And that's why you need to really, commit yourself to getting into this and understanding that, your first 6 months, this is all just training. I'm learning for the first 6 months. And as I'm learning, hey, look at this. As I'm learning, I'm making a few bucks. That's pretty cool. Where else could you go learn something and make a few bucks at the same time? So we get into the next piece of this chapter here, and then that's where this chapter starts out going. It's talking about, the only losers are the quitters, and that's generally comes from the people that look too far ahead, can't believe it's attainable, and don't have a strong sponsor who's bringing them up the right way in the organization, and they end up dropping out, becoming the quitters. Those are the only losers. Because in this race, that's the other thing too, is in this race, you see all those people out in front of you, and you go, hey, it doesn't matter. There's no finish line to this race. Or, I can draw the finish line wherever I choose, whenever I choose. So that's the cool thing. See, since there's no finish line, you can take this race as far as you want. You can go as far as you want. You can say, you know what? I can draw a finish line right here, and I can finish this race right here, and I win. That's what you can do with network marketing. So we get into next talking about the actual, well, the little runner picture is part of the napkin presentation, but the actual napkin presentation here is the building your skyscraper presentation. And you start off by talking to your prospect by saying, have you ever seen a construction site for a big building, for a sky rise or something like that? And you see that, the first thing that happens is the fences go up around the lot, and then, all this work starts happening. The trucks are coming in and going out, and all these people are there every day, and you don't really see anything happening, though. There's all this stuff going on, but you never see nothing happening. And why is that? It's because they don't start out building this building upwards. You start out by going down, okay? The first thing you do when you're building a skyscraper is you dig down to bedrock. And when you first put the fences up and you first start, your network marketing organization, it's like, you get out there with yourself, maybe a buddy or two, and you got a couple shovels in your hand and a wheelbarrow, and you start digging a little bit of a hole, My apologies. As I told you, still getting this stuff out. So yeah, that's the first picture. You're out there with a little shovel digging a hole, right? But now when you get when you find your 5 people, or even 3, I'm going to go with 3. Once you've got 3 people in your organization, 5 is awesome. Once you got 3 people in your organization that are serious, that are working this business, now you're on the second level. You're on that second level there, and now it's like you're pulling out the bulldozers. Okay, you're really starting to gain some momentum, really starting to get some stuff happening, and you're digging this thing. You're digging this thing down to bedrock. You're digging this thing down to bedrock. I got to send a text here. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. God. Okay, so anyway, where was I? Sorry. Okay, so but going back here, so like I said, when you get down to that second level, now it's like you're pulling out the bulldozers. You're really gaining some momentum. You're picking up speed. Your things are happening. You know, your organization is starting to build and grow. And then when you get, you know, into the third level, or you're 4 deep or whatnot, now it's like you're really, you know, pulling out the excavators and you're really getting down there. You're digging down, like I said, you're digging down to that bedrock. You know, when you build a skyscraper, if you don't start it on something solid, which is the bedrock, you know, when you dig down into the hole in the ground, eventually, somewhere along the way, you're going to find rock. And when you want to build a skyscraper, you better be starting to build from that rock solid base, because you're going to be going way up in the sky. All right. You need something solid to stand on. You need footing here. And that's what this is all about. You just start building your skyscraper on the top of the ground, you know, you're in all this soft soil and that moves, you know, what if you have an earthquake? And yeah, it's not a good thing. So, so the whole idea here is with your network marketing organization, with this first 6 months of you in your training period, this is what you're doing, is you're digging down to bedrock. Okay. You're getting, within that first 6 months, you're looking to get your five serious people in place and get them, you know, finding their 5 serious people. If you can get that much done, if you can just get that much done in 6 months, you're now, you know, reaching that bedrock phase where now you can start building upward. And have you ever noticed that, you know, on those big construction sites, like I said, the fence goes up, you know, all the workers start showing up, the trucks are going in and out, all this stuff's happening, but you ain't seeing nothing. And then all of a sudden, once you see this thing poke up out of the ground and you see, oh, hey, look, oh, there it is. Look, they started building on that today. Well, they've been there for 6 months already, doing all this stuff, who knows what. But today, because you drove by and today, you can actually see some, you know, 2x4s and things going up, right? You go, oh, look, they started building today. Yeah. But you'll notice too that all of a sudden, once you say that, once you see that, all of a sudden this thing just shoots up in the air, right? It takes off and boom, they're like done in no time. You know, they might be out of view for 6 months or a year, and then all of a sudden it pops up, you know, and 3 to 6 months later, the whole thing's done. So that's what starting your network organization is. Rewind. Network marketing organization is like, okay, in the beginning. That's where you have to do all the work that nobody sees, and nobody knows what's going on. You're doing all this stuff and nobody's seeing any results from you. You need to be very strong and steadfast during this time, and you need to be able to see, and hopefully your sponsor, like I said, your strong upline sponsor is showing you, you know, where you're building and how things are expanding and how things are looking and where things are going, and getting you excited enough to where you can focus in, and you can turn off all those naysayers that are saying, hey, what are you doing over there? You've been doing this thing for 6 months and nothing's happening, right? You need to be able to see that and believe that and know that, okay, you know what, as soon as I get down to the bottom here, do all this hard work to dig this hole down to bedrock, and I can start building this thing upward, that's when it's going to take off. That's when all of a sudden the other people are going to see what's going on here and go, oh, wow, when did you do that? When did you do all that? You know, so that's the way it goes. That's how the one hit. I mean, the one hit wonder. That's how the overnight success is created, by years and years and years of digging down to bedrock and finally building something upward, and then all of a sudden all the people see it and bam, you're an overnight success. So with that, everybody, digging down to bedrock, everything begins at the bottom. When you start your network marketing organization, understand you aren't even at the bottom yet. You got to start digging down to the bottom before you could go up. You know, that's where all the hard work comes in. But that's when, once you get to the bottom and you start building up, that's where the payoff starts coming in, okay? Come on, people, leave me the heck alone this morning. Anyway, oh universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. Everybody make it a great Newopday. Go out there and, you know, if you're in network marketing, you know what to do. Get out there and sponsor somebody. And if you're not in network marketing, hey, start looking around. Look for somebody who's in network marketing. Do some studying, do some research. Go back and watch some of our videos here. Understand that network marketing is not what you think it is. It's much, much better. All right, we'll see you back here on Website Wisdom Wednesday, where we'll talk a little bit more specifically about our vehicle, which is Swiss Gold Global, and everybody make it